If I could share just one secret to living a vibrant, healthy life all the way to 100 years old, it wouldn't be a miracle pill, it wouldn't be a fancy surgery either, it would be something far simpler, a small daily habit, so easy that you could start today. Imagine this, you're 90 years old, you walk to the market on your own, tend your own vegetable garden, and scoop your giggling grandchild into your arms without needing anyone's help. What's the secret behind that kind of vitality? As a doctor who has spent over 30 years studying human health and longevity, I invite you to join me on a special journey, a journey to uncover simple, timeless practices that have helped thousands around the world live not just longer, but better, with joy, energy, and true fulfillment. And at the end of this journey, I'll share the most powerful life lesson I learned from a living legend, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived to an incredible 105 years with a heart full of passion and purpose. So pour yourself a warm cup of tea, because the small choices we'll explore today just might change the course of your entire life. But before we dive into the how, let's start by uncovering a surprising truth about longevity that modern science has revealed, a truth that might just change the way you see your future. The truth about longevity, genes or lifestyle. Picture two brothers, born into the same family, they grew up side by side, under the same roof, sharing the same meals, running through the same dusty village streets. But fast forward to their 70s, one brother struggles daily with blood pressure pills, insulin shots, and the nagging pain of arthritic knees. The other, he still rides his bicycle to the farmer's market, cooks fresh meals from scratch, and spends weekends hiking with friends. Same parents, same genes, yet two completely different realities. So what made the difference? For a long time, we believed genetics was the ultimate blueprint of our destiny. But groundbreaking studies are telling us another story. One of the largest and longest-running studies on longevity, the New England Centenarian Study from Harvard Medical School, has shown this. Only about 20 to 30% of our longevity is determined by genetics. A whopping 70 to 80% comes from how we live each day, what we eat, how we move, how we handle stress, and how connected we are to others. Source: Pearls TT. Et al., New England Centenarian Study. Supporting this, a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Aging Research, Smith et al., 2011, confirmed lifestyle choices have a far greater impact on health and longevity, especially in the final 2 decades of life, than genetics alone. Over the past 3 decades, I've cared for hundreds of twin siblings, where one twin suffered from multiple chronic illnesses, while the other remained active, independent, and joyful into their 80s and beyond. The difference? It wasn't luck. It was daily choices, eating whole foods, moving naturally, managing stress with love and community. Think of your genes like a map, but here's the truth, you are the one who chooses the road you travel. Some people surrender their health to fate, letting bad habits drag them into a spiral of disease. Others, they take the wheel, nurturing their bodies, their minds, and their connections with fierce love, and in doing so, they reshape their destiny, rewriting even the most stubborn genetic scripts. You can't choose the genes you were born with, but you can absolutely choose how you live, and those daily choices, what you eat, how you move, who you love, how you manage stress, determine whether you spend your 80s, 90s, and beyond, thriving with a clear mind and a joyful heart, or simply surviving. Remember this, right arrow genetics may load the gun, right arrow, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger, or chooses to disarm it, and starting today, you hold the power to put that weapon down, one simple, beautiful choice at a time. Lessons from the lands of longevity, the blue zones. Close your eyes for a moment, picture an early morning in Okinawa, Japan. The golden sunlight filters gently through the leaves, touching a small garden where 116-year-old Kamado Hongo is watering rows of tender green vegetables. She wears a traditional indigo kimono, her hands delicate but strong. Beside her, a group of friends, her moai, laugh and chatter, sharing memories from decades past. No one's rushing, no one's staring at a screen, just the breeze, the laughter, and the simple joy of being alive. Meanwhile, halfway around the world, millions of 50-year-olds in Western cities are rushing out the door. Breakfast is an industrial-made sandwich, eyes glued to smartphones, and blood pressure pills tucked in their pockets for the day ahead. So what's the secret of Okinawa, and other places where people thrive into their hundreds? Scientists call them blue zones. regions around the world where people live significantly longer, healthier lives than the global average. The most well-known blue zones include Okinawa, Japan; Sardinia, Italy; Ikaria, Greece; Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica; Loma Linda, California, USA. Source: Buettner D., American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, 2016. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research, 2012, also found the blue zone lifestyle could extend healthy lifespan by an average of 10 to 12 years. So what's their real secret? 5 universal lessons from blue zones, explained warmly and clearly. Leafy green natural, plant-centered diets. About 90 to 95% of their daily food comes from plants, fresh greens, beans, sweet potatoes, whole grains. Meat is rare, a treat for special occasions, not a daily staple. Man-walking movement woven naturally into life. No gyms. Instead, they garden, walk to visit neighbors, climb hills without even thinking about it, handshake strong, lifelong social connections. They live with multiple generations under one roof. Elders are respected and loved. They have lifelong circles of friends, like the Moai groups in Okinawa, who laugh together, support each other, and stay connected for decades. Directed a clear sense of purpose. In Okinawa, it's called ikigai, your reason to wake up in the morning. In Nicoya, it's plan de vida, your life plan. Person in lotus position. Stress reduction rituals. They know how to release tension. A calming tea ceremony, an afternoon nap, a prayer, a friendly gathering at sunset. Small moments that soothe the heart. While a 100-year-old grandmother in Sardinia tends her garden, laughs with friends, and dips homemade bread into golden olive oil, a 50-year-old professional in New York, London, or Tokyo may already be battling high blood pressure, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and a deep loneliness behind closed apartment doors. One spring morning in Okinawa, I met 97-year-old Shigeaki Hinohara. Dressed simply, he pedaled his bicycle to the local market to pick up fresh vegetables. His breakfast, a humble bowl of purple sweet potatoes, a few slices of tofu, and a cup of green tea. When I asked him for his secret to longevity, he simply smiled and said, "Eat simply, work gently, and always keep your heart warm." The blue zones teach us something powerful. Right arrow longevity doesn't come from a miracle pill. It comes from every gentle step into your garden, every wholesome meal made with love, every laugh shared with friends and family, every hug that reminds you you're not alone. And the best part, you don't have to move to Okinawa or Sardinia. You can start building your own little blue zone, right here, right now, in your kitchen, in your backyard, in the arms of those you love. The golden foods for longevity, secrets on every plate. Picture 2 plates at lunchtime. On one side, a greasy fast food burger, golden fried French fries, and an icy can of sugary soda. On the other side, a vibrant plate from a blue zone kitchen, heaps of fresh leafy greens, a small bowl of tender beans, slices of rustic whole grain bread, and a drizzle of golden olive oil glistening under the sunlight. One meal quietly stirs inflammation, aging your body one bite at a time. The other nourishes your cells with pure, natural vitality. That small daily difference in what you eat, repeated over the years, becomes the vast distance between a life cut short by chronic illness and a joyful journey lasting 100 years or more. Global studies agree, your diet alone can influence up to 40% of your healthy lifespan. Source: Global Burden of Disease Study, The Lancet, 2019. In other words, every forkful you take, every meal you prepare, is shaping the very fabric of your future health. 5 essential food groups for longevity. 1. Leafy greens. The silent warriors: spinach, kale, collard greens, dandelion greens. These humble leaves are packed with vitamin K for bone strength, lutein for eye health, and folate for cognitive sharpness. A study published in Neurology, 2018, found that eating just 1 serving of leafy greens daily can slow brain aging by an equivalent of 11 years. Source: Morris MC, Neurology, 2018. I remember meeting a 92-year-old woman in Ikaria, Greece. Every morning, she would climb the hillside to pick wild greens, fresh, peppery, fragrant. She'd simmer them into a simple dish called horta, seasoned only with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. She smiled as she said, "If you want to live long, eat what the earth gives you, fresh and simple." 2. Beans, nature's little powerhouses, black beans, red beans, lentils, these little gems are rich in fiber, plant-based protein, and anti-inflammatory polyphenol. In fact, beans are the #1 source of protein for the world's longest living communities. Source: Buettner D. The Blue Zone Solution, 2015. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, elders still start their mornings with gallo pinto. A hearty mix of black beans, rice, onions, and fresh herbs, a simple, soulful dish, rich in nutrients, rich in tradition. 3. Sheaf of rice whole grains, the body's sustainable fuel. Brown rice, oats, barley, whole grains are loaded with soluble fiber, which helps control blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and nourish the gut microbiome. A Harvard study found that eating just 2 servings of whole grains daily reduced the risk of early death by 22%. Source: Wu H. et al., JAMA Internal Medicine, 2015. In Sardinia, Italy, elders often eat pane carousel, a thin, crisp whole grain bread soaked lightly in golden olive oil. Picture it, weathered hands breaking bread, dipping it into glistening olive oil, as the Mediterranean sun spills across their kitchen tables. 4. Extra virgin olive oil, liquid gold for the body, rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and powerful antioxidants called polyphenol. Extra virgin olive oil protects against inflammation, heart disease, and cognitive decline. In the Predimed study in Spain, 2018, daily use of olive oil reduced stroke and heart disease risk by 31%. Source: Istruchar et al., New England Journal of Medicine, 2018. In Sardinia, a 104-year-old man told me he drank a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil every morning before breakfast. He smiled and said, "Keeps my joints oiled and my heart humming like an old but faithful machine." 5. Chestnut nuts and seeds, tiny shields against aging. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, these nutrient-dense foods are rich in omega-3s, vitamin E, and magnesium. According to the Nurses' Health Study from Harvard, eating a handful of nuts daily reduced the risk of death from all causes by 20%. Source: Bao Y. et al., New England Journal of Medicine, 2013. In Ikaria, Greece, it's common to see elders nibbling on walnuts, while sipping a small glass of homemade red wine under the stars. Laughing, sharing, living life fully. Living a long, vibrant life doesn't begin with prescriptions, it begins with what's on your plate, every day, 3 times a day. Every meal is either a quiet investment in your health or a silent withdrawal from your future. Choose leafy greens over processed bread. Choose a warm pot of beans over deep-fried fast food. Choose foods that are simple, natural, and alive, and your body will repay you with strength, clarity, and joy that lasts for decades to come. The things to avoid: refined sugar and ultra-processed foods, the silent killers. Picture 2 dinner tables. On one side, a simple family meal in Okinawa, a bowl of brown rice, steamed tofu, lightly sautéed greens with a touch of olive oil, and a pot of fragrant green tea. On the other side, a typical urban dinner, deep-fried chicken, a large soda, golden crisp French fries, and a dessert loaded with whipped cream and syrup. 2 meals. 2 paths, one quietly nourishes every cell, every heartbeat, the other quietly sows seeds of disease, one bite at a time. What you choose today decides the health you'll live, or lose, 10, 20 years from now. Refined sugar, the silent destroyer. Modern science has uncovered the hidden dangers of excess sugar. A study published in Cell Metabolism, 2019, revealed that high intake of refined sugar triggers a process called glycation, where sugar molecules latch onto your body's proteins, forming harmful compounds known as AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These AGEs accelerate skin aging, harden arteries, damage organs at the cellular level. Source: Ghosh P. et al., Cell Metabolism, 2019. Excess sugar doesn't just cause diabetes, it speeds up your entire aging process, from your skin, to your joints, to your brain. Ultra-processed foods, the hidden monsters, according to the British Medical Journal, 2019. Ultra-processed foods are packed with artificial additives, flavor enhancers, preservatives, colorants, and chemical sweeteners. They're engineered to be addictive. They're rich in empty calories but stripped of real nutrients. Source: Montero C.A. et al., BMJ, 2019, regularly eating these foods increases the risk of obesity, triggers heart disease, promotes cancers, deepens depression. In fact, the Nutrinet Santé study, 2019, in France, tracking over 44,000 people for 7 years, found, for every 10% increase in ultra-processed food intake, the risk of early death rises by 14%. Source: Schrouerby, et al., BMJ, 2019. Imagine a 55-year-old man living in a bustling city. He starts every morning with a donut and sugary coffee, lunch is a microwaved frozen pizza, dinner, a drive-through burger and soda, eaten alone in front of a glowing TV screen. Fast forward 10 years, he's now taking 4 daily medications, for diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and depression. His life didn't collapse overnight, it crumbled slowly, meal by meal, day by day, choice by choice. Meanwhile, halfway across the world, a 90-year-old woman in Nicoya is hand-cooking fresh beans for her grandchildren, drinking pure spring water, and taking an evening stroll with friends. Laughing under the golden sunset, one path leads to slow collapse, the other, to a life that blooms and thrives like a century-old tree rooted deep in fertile soil. How to defend yourself against the silent killers. White heavy checkmark. Cut back drastically on added sugars, skip sugary sodas, commercial sweets, and boxed breakfast cereals. Choose whole fruits over packaged juices. White heavy checkmark. Avoid ultra-processed foods. Prioritize fresh, whole foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, fish. Read labels carefully. If you can't pronounce half the ingredients, put it back on the shelf. White heavy checkmark. Eat slowly, mindfully, savor real flavors, listen to your body's natural cues for fullness. None of us can choose the day we were born, but every one of us can choose what we put into our bodies, today, tomorrow, and every day after. Refined sugar and ultra-processed foods might look sweet, easy, and tempting, but the true price, you pay it later, with your health, your energy, your precious years. Choose wisely, choose freedom for your body and your soul, because every small choice you make today is a love letter to the future you. The golden lifestyle. True health is more than just food. I still remember a spring morning in a tiny village tucked away in Nicoya, Costa Rica. Don Antonio, 95 years old, stirred awake as the first rays of the sun kissed the earth. No blaring alarm clock, no frantic rush. He stretched slowly under the golden light, watered his vegetable patch, and hopped onto his bicycle to visit an old friend, carrying a basket filled with ripe, fragrant papayas. No gym, no high-tech fitness tracker. Just the gentle rhythm of life, a night of peaceful sleep, and the simple joy of connection. Meanwhile, across the globe, millions of middle-aged city dwellers were launching into their day. Jolted awake by shrieking alarms, stuffing a processed breakfast sandwich into their mouths, merging into rivers of honking traffic, carrying stress, loneliness, and fatigue like invisible backpacks. So, what's the real secret to living long and living well? It's not just about what you eat, it's about how you live. Every single day, nutrition builds about 30 to 40% of the foundation for healthy longevity. But it's your daily lifestyle, your movements, your rhythms, your relationships that forms the bedrock underneath it. Source: World Health Organization, WHO Healthy Aging Report, 2020. In every blue zone and every long-lived community, 3 golden habits stand out clearly. Right arrow natural movement, right arrow deep, restful sleep, right arrow and meaningful human connection. 3 keys to a long, vibrant life. Natural movement. We were born to move. A large study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, 2015, found, just 15 to 30 minutes of brisk walking per day, can reduce the risk of early death by up to 22%. Source: Hupin D. et al., BJSM, 2015. In Ikaria, Greece, 90-year-old grandmothers still hike up steep hills to deliver fresh herbs to neighbors. Movement isn't a workout, it's woven naturally into the fabric of daily life, carrying baskets, climbing hills, tending gardens. No gym membership needed, just a heart that remembers it was built to move. Deep sleep, the secret reset button. A breakthrough study in Nature Neuroscience, 2018, showed deep sleep helps flush out beta amyloid, the toxic protein linked to Alzheimer's disease, from the brain. Regularly sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night significantly lowers the risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cognitive decline. Source: CIL. Et al., Nature Neuroscience, 2018. In Nicoya, elders don't need sleeping pills or blackout curtains. They rise with the sun, they sleep when darkness falls, their bodies move in perfect harmony with the natural rhythms that have shaped humanity for millions of years. Strong social bonds, the real fountain of youth, a massive meta-analysis published in PLOS Medicine, 2010. Reviewing over 308,000 people concluded, strong social relationships increase the likelihood of survival by 50%. Chronic loneliness, they found, is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Source: Holt-Lundstad J. et al., PLOS Medicine, 2010. In Okinawa, everyone belongs to a moai, a small group of lifelong friends who support each other emotionally, socially, and even financially. When someone in the moai faces hardship, the others show up, no questions asked, no debts owed, only love, only presence. At one end of the world, a 95-year-old woman is hiking through lush fields with her friends, smiling, laughing, savoring a body and spirit still full of life. At the other, a 50-year-old man wakes up alone in a cold high-rise apartment, surviving on caffeine and deadlines, his heart aching with unspoken loneliness. Longevity isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Every heartbeat pulsing with strength, every morning brimming with hope. Every step rooted in purpose. And the beautiful truth is, you don't need massive, overwhelming change. You can start today, with tiny, sacred acts: a walk outside in the morning sun, a homemade meal shared with family, a full night's sleep without guilt, a text message to an old friend saying, "I was thinking of you," day after day, choice after choice. These simple acts build a life of deep, lasting health, like bricks forming a beautiful, timeless home. Lessons from Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, the icon of living vibrantly at 105. Picture a crisp autumn morning in Tokyo. A petite elderly man in a simple suit slowly walks through the quiet halls of St. Luke's International Hospital. His frame is small, but his eyes sparkle with energy and purpose. At 101 years old, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara was still showing up, every day, every morning, to work, to write, to inspire. He wasn't just alive, he was fully alive. Dr. Hinohara wasn't just Japan's most beloved physician, he was a living treasure, a man who redefined what it means to age with vitality, curiosity, and heart. Some of his remarkable milestones: he led St. Luke's International Hospital for over 50 years. Authored more than 150 books, including his bestseller Living Long, Living Good. At age 101, he flew alone to New York to give a lecture. Even months before his passing at 105, he was still writing, still dreaming, still contributing. 5 life lessons for longevity: eat less, eat simply, never stuff yourself. Every morning, Dr. Hinohara had a minimalist breakfast: a cup of coffee, a glass of milk, a splash of fresh orange juice mixed with a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil. Simple, light meals reduce oxidative stress on the body, slowing aging at the cellular level. Source: Hinohara S. Living Long, Living Good. He once said, "The key to longevity isn't eating to your heart's content. It's eating just enough so your body can dance freely." Keep moving, gently and consistently. Dr. Hinohara always chose the stairs over the elevator, walked between appointments, and kept his body in gentle motion daily. Consistent light movement maintains muscle mass, boosts circulation, and preserves flexibility into old age. Live with passion, never retire from life. Dr. Hinohara believed, never retire in your heart. As long as you have something to give, you are still young. At 100 years old, he still stood before crowds of students, sharing wisdom, igniting dreams, passing the torch to the next generation. Keep a childlike curiosity, laugh often. He encouraged people to nurture their inner child, stay curious, stay playful, stay lighthearted, live for others, love and serve. He taught, a selfish life shrivels the soul, a life of giving, caring, and loving, nourishes the body, mind, and spirit, and keeps you young far beyond your years. Thousands of patients remembered Dr. Hinohara not just as a skilled doctor, but as a healer, a man whose kindness wrapped around you like a warm blanket in winter. Dr. Hinohara left behind more than medical knowledge. He left a blueprint for a full, vibrant life, eat lightly, move naturally, laugh heartily, work with heart, love generously. You see, living long isn't some distant dream, it's the everyday moments, the footsteps you take, the meals you savor, the hugs you share, that quietly weave a tapestry of resilience, joy, and longevity. And your journey doesn't start someday, it starts today, with one simple, loving choice at a time. If this message touched your heart, please tap that red heart button to help spread the power of living fully, joyfully, and healthily. Bell, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, so you and I can continue walking this journey of wellness, wisdom, and wonder together. Thank you for being here. Here's to your health, your dreams, and the beautiful life ahead. See you in the next video.